First scan at the clinic. Are you ready?
Yay!
You don't look like you're very ready to meet.
I am.
We're here and we're feeling really anxious, even though it's just a scan, I think, to check my lining and talking about ovulation and blah, blah, blah. So nothing that special, but just being here, I think we freak out. So we'll see. So I'm back and all went well. Everything looks fine. The lining looks fine. I've got a dominant follicle. But the issue at the moment is because the ovulation stick this morning showed that I don't have any surge, which is what happens when you are gearing up to and going through ovulation. So we have to wait to see what happens on the ovulation stick tomorrow. And then I'm going for another scan in a couple of days. If the ovulation stick starts flashing smiley faces at me, I have to tell them sooner because it means that I'm having a surge. But if it doesn't, we will wait a couple of days and see what's happening then. We're trying to monitor it as best we can because I've done my last transfers under sedation, so they may trigger me so they can know exactly when I need to be sedated and I'm going to have the transfer. So we'll find out more about that in a couple of days. And that's it. It all seems a lot easier this time, really, because it's so much quicker. Haven't taken any medication yet, so it all seems a little bit breezy. So we'll see what tomorrow brings on the ovulation stick, and then Friday, which is in a couple of days, for scan number 2. So, what happened today?
A surge.
A surge?
Yeah, I don't know what to say.
When you ovulate, they call it a surge, don't they?
Yeah.
So...
You went from 0 yesterday to
0 to
surge.
hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, we weren't expecting that, were we?
No.
I thought because I had nothing yesterday, it goes from nothing to a flashy smiley face, which means high chance of conceiving, to then a static smiley face, which means very, very high chance, like basically do it now.
The peak.
Yeah, the peak of the peak. So I went from nothing to the peak of the peak. So we were meant to be going in for another scan tomorrow, but I phoned them up and said I have surged to the peak of the peak, and they said, right, well, you don't need to come in for another scan. You're good to go. They booked us in for the transfer, which is next Wednesday, which is 6 days' time, and start all your injections tomorrow. So we're now freaking out because the plan was to go back to the clinic tomorrow for the scan, and they were going to give us a demo of how to do these intramuscular injections, and now we have to figure it out for ourselves.
YouTube.
So we'll talk you through all the medicine that I now have to take and take you along on the journey with us. One thing we've learned, I think, so far is that doing a frozen transfer is much, much easier than obviously doing...
I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll tell you tomorrow.
So far.
After the intramuscular injection.
But I haven't done... I've literally taken nothing. So I'm a bit freaked out to be like, okay, I'm not taking any medicine. I have complete ownership of my body to tomorrow getting... Yeah, I have to take 1 Clexane injection a day. We'll talk you through it now.
We have Clexane.
Clexane. So this is a blood thinning injection, and I have to take 1 of these every day.
Pre-filled. So it's 0.4 milliliter a day.
So I take 1 of these injections a day, along with 1 of these, which are known as baby aspirin. And the purpose of them is to thin my blood. I've never had known problems with my blood or clots, but the hope is that it might help prevent any form of miscarriage going forward. So it is worth a shot, if you'll pardon the pun. Tough crowd.
So
Then we have the Prontigest. So that's the intramuscular injection. So do you want to show the size of the needle?
no.
They are difficult to see. I think that's a bit better. But obviously, yeah, very long. So we have to do the intramuscular injection every other day, which is slightly nicer, but that's definitely the one we're freaking out about. Although we have been told on forums that actually the Clexane, which we hadn't thought anything of, is like a bee stinging you. So I think between that and this, we're going to be high as a kite by the time we get to transfer.
Yeah. And your best friend.
And the good old pessaries, which I have to take morning and evening.
And actually they are the easiest.
They are, yeah. So let's recap. So we have Clexane blood thinning injection every day, baby aspirin once every day, Cyclogest pessaries twice a day, morning and evening, and the Prontigest progesterone intramuscular injection every other day. Considering this is a natural non-medicated cycle, it seems like a lot of medicine.
Yeah.
So now we're going to go and look up tutorials of how to do this progesterone, and yeah, tomorrow should be entertaining. This was not particularly that helpful. That's all we basically got from our clinic. And we've got this lovely thing. So this is what we're going to be doing for the next couple of weeks. And actually we would recommend Nurse Linda, IVF medication injection. She did such a good video, didn't she?
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks Nurse Linda, power to you. So it's now the next day. I've just done my first pessary. Nice to be back. And we're going to do our Clexane injection at lunchtime and then the intramuscular injection after work this evening. So if you go to our next video, you will see how those go. Feeling good so far, still psychologically overwhelmed, but looking forward to seeing what's going to happen and getting to the next chapter in the story. See you for the injections. Bye.